a man whose life and fight have given me great inspiration and very deep insight. I want to introduce to you this man, Pharaoh Tansuman. And people would refer to Tansuman as a man who lives two lives at the same time. It's one purpose, each life. On one side, he was a reporter of Reuters, and then later on Time magazine. He was the first Vietnamese to be the full-time war reporter for the most famous news agency in the world, and he did a fantastic job, right? And on the other side, he was the legendary spy of Vietnam People's Army, and then this was the aide of the whole network of 27,000 secret agents that was sent from the north of Vietnam to the south. And he was the one who had the contact to all the ministers, to all the American advisors, to the president of the government in the south of Vietnam. And he did a fantastic job during that 23 years. He made 498 reports and sent that to the north of Vietnam so that we know exactly what's going on. And then when General Nguyen Huu Tri received all the reports, and when he was sitting in a cave in the north, and when he read all those reports, and he was sharing with his comrades, that we are sitting in the war room of the White House with all the information that they had, right? And he talked about that to us. Frank Knapp, the chief analyst of CIA in Saigon, he said that this had assessed our strategic intelligence, and no one in the agency had the stomach to measure the damage that he did to us. So he was a great achiever. Now, if we go deep into that, I want to share with you what's the secret behind all those achievements, right? Okay, Mr. Ang was sent to the U.S. to study journalism, and he was studying there for 3 years, and he was fantastic. He had excellent results in study. But then when we look back into his childhood, we know that when he was a child, Mr. Ang was a very naughty kid. He didn't like study at all. He skipped classes, and he sneaked out and played in the field. He didn't want to study. And then suddenly, when he went to college, when he went to the U.S., he became a very good learner. And then I'm asking myself, why is that? Because for the past 5 years, 6 years, when I work with people, I thought that, the most extraordinary discovery of humankind is that people can change. That's powerful. People can change. Because when people change, the next 5 years are going to be totally different from the past 5 years if you change, if you decide to change. And when people can change, they can move, anybody can move from any circumstances or problem to any destination in life if they wish to. So they could change. That's the most powerful thing. And when they ask Mr. Pastor, where did you get that inspiration or this power to persist? That's 23 years being inspired, but that's really hard. And Mr. Pastor shared that the day he realized that he's studying, or he's learning, or he's working or fighting for his countrymen, for his nation, that's when everything changed. When he was a kid, he studied because his parents forced him to do that. But when he realized, the moment he realized that I'm fighting for a greater purpose, everything changed. And he found that great energy, that great motivation to carry on for 23 years. Very hard, very hard. So that's the point I want to share with you. That all the young people, we all want something, don't we? We want to achieve something. And then when I talk, for the past few years, I've been working with 2,000 young people, and then what they share with me is that among these people, what are the 3 most important things to you? The first one, money. The second one, study. The last one, family. And those are really important things. Those who agree with me, if you share some of these values, just raise your hand. Okay, not that young, that's good. However, if we look into these 3 beautiful words, you will realize that they all end with one very special part. That is why. That's why. Why? If you want to get the money, you must first make sure that why you want to get that money. You want to study well. I can say why you want to do it. And you want to have a good family or contribute to your family. Ask yourself why do you want to do that? Because that's much more important than how and what. It's not about what you do. It's not why you want to do it. And when you get that greater purpose, or that a sense of mission in what you're doing, suddenly you will see so much energy and passion to do that. Right? So the first message, Mr. Tan shared through his life, is the very powerful thing is the philosophy, why to do what to do. And if you can collect, just like Jim Rohn shared, if you can collect enough reasons to do something, you can achieve anything. That's the first thing I want to share. And the second one, going through his principle. So what is his principle for success? Right? The first one, Mr. Tan was sent to the U.S. because when the army in the North of Vietnam realized in 1949, they realized that the Americans are going to be the next enemy. They sent their best spies to America to learn from the Americans. Right? And he was sent there. And then his first principle was that be adaptable. Be adaptable. And Mr. Tan shared that when he was sent to the U.S., he set out a mission for himself. It's like this. He shared that my orders were not only learn from the Americans, but rather think like an American, talk like an American, live like an American, become an American. Then go back and outside it. Powerful. Powerful. And ask all the young people in this room today. When you go out and learn some new things, or go and study from people, did you have that very clear and powerful purpose, or powerful goal? Because that gives him a lot of power. And what I see when I travel, and when I go overseas and learn overseas, I see that all the Vietnamese people, when we go overseas and study, we tend to come together and set up communities, and we mingle around outside. And it makes life much easier to speak with your same people, with all Vietnamese, and share among ourselves. That makes life easier. But you will never grow. And you limit your capacity to learn. So this is the first principle. Be adaptable. Learn as much as you could. When you learn as much as you could. Right? And this is the second principle that I would like to share with you. And this is my favorite one. Okay, you want to hear that? Yeah. My favorite one. Okay? The second principle is be sincere and don't tell lies. And I was asking myself, a spy who doesn't tell a lie. That's nonsense. I mean, one of his principles is that if I can tell the truth, I will tell it. If I cannot tell it, I will keep quiet. But I don't tell lies. That's crazy. A spy who doesn't tell lies. That makes no sense. However, if we take it slowly and think, because if he didn't tell lies and he didn't lie to people, people will trust him and they don't even ask. And when they don't ask him, difficult questions like, "Are you a spy?" He didn't have to lie, and he kept his principle, his integrity, and that's interesting, isn't that? And when it comes to this point, I'd love to share with you that today, all the young people, we go out in life with all the passion, we want to achieve a lot of things. And on the road to that achievement, sometimes along the way, we don't mind lying a little bit there, just a little bit, you know. And then that's when everything becomes dangerous. When you make that kind of sacrifices, when you sacrifice your values or your integrity, that's when everything starts falling apart. So one of the things that I learned from the life of Mr. Tan is to keep the faith. And this is powerful. Study for your exam and keep the faith. Fight for exam, keep the faith. Get that job, keep the faith. Earn the money, keep the faith. Set up your family, keep the faith. Love your family, keep the faith. Fight the enemy, keep the faith. That's very important. To win in the long run. And the last principle I would love to share with you. This is the pictures of Mr. Tan and his friend, who was a reporter. And his third principle is that help people if you could. Help people if you could. Throughout the life of Mr. Tan, he lived his life as a good man in both roles. During his work, if he could help his friends, be that a general or a war advisor or the minister of the South Vietnam government, if he could help them, he would. As long as it didn't violate his core mission, he would help them. with small little things. He would help them. And there was one time that he was trying to help an American lady to find her husband, who was a war reporter that was missing in action in the border of Cambodia. He almost lost his life. But one of his principles is simply help people if you could. And then you're going to ask yourself, like, why help that general? Why help that advisor? Why? They are Americans. And something I would share with you that we are on different teams, and we compete on the team. But I don't need to hate you. Why do I need to hate you? I mean, we can work for two companies that are competing on the market. That's fine, but we don't necessarily need to hate each other and end up destroying each other. Because at the end of the day, we are sharing this huge spaceship called Earth. And what's the point going and kill your shipmate? One side killing the other side, and then we end up destroying our own ship. That's the principle of win-win, or no deal. That's powerful, right? And then when it comes to instructions, I just want to wrap up that if we can go back and discover within our hearts what's our mission, what we really love to do, and discover that sense of purpose, that's going to give you the energy to go and pursue and achieve in life. And if we flip back the page of history, right, and learn from and discover our uniqueness and learn from the principle of success of the generations before, we're going to find ourselves the wisdom and the skill to equip ourselves and jump into the new age, the new challenge, and become a very skillful warrior in your own life. In your own life, right? And when it comes to this part, I would love to share with you why is this so important that we do it now, and why is it so important that our generation want to learn from all the old history on the past, get that wisdom, and do really well for our generation. Why? It's very simple. Now I would like you to turn on the lights over here. I want to introduce a very important person on the screen. So can you turn on the lights over here? We appreciate it. Yeah, this person is really important. So I make sure that you can see it. Good. So here comes the man. This is my 8-month boy. This is my son. And I want to share with you one thing. That today, with all the crises that we are making for ourselves, the financial crisis, the fuel shortage, the climate change, global warming, and if we don't learn how to work together and fix the mistake of our generation, this generation doesn't stand a chance to survive and to shine. So, Joanna, I would love to share by the word of Mahatma Gandhi. Let's see the change that you want to see in the world. It starts with you and me. Thank you.